Here are their starters. 6'5" senior forward from Petoskey, Michigan, number 3, Eric. 6'3" guard from Pontiac, Michigan, number 11, Ty Searle. 6'3" senior guard from Dexter, Michigan, number 22, Derek Seidel. 6'3" junior guard from Temple, Florida, number 23, 6'9" senior forward from Orlando, Florida, number 30. The Blue Devils are under the leadership of Josh Pinkins in his first season. His assistant is Joe Lightfoot. Let's play some Blue Devil basketball.
Welcoming you back inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse for the second of our doubleheader, and tip-off is underway. Lords and LTU going head-to-head here on Senior Day inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. 3 seniors on the floor. Starting for the Blue Devils, a quick trigger there from Cliff Snow. That's off the front of the rim and pulled down by senior Lucas Vojak, who was honored before the game, along with Derek Seidel and Eric Davenport. A couple other guys you see on the floor right now, along with Ty Searles. Running the point guard duties, Devontae Miles at shooting guard / forward position. Here is Miles, swings it over to Searles. He walks the baseline. Back out Miles. Right arc, triple put up and good from Seidel. Derek Seidel, a senior guard, 6'3", 185 from Dexter, Michigan, gets on the board first, and LTU strikes first. Out at the top of the key, here's Cliff Snow. And answering right back quickly, it's Malik Thurman, averaging 10 points per game, a 48% three-point shooter. Look for him outside all day long. He gets things going there for Lords. Now we're knotted up, almost a minute and a half in here. Searles fakes, now triggers. That one was wide left, but chasing it down is Davenport. Did he step out? I think he did, and we'll go back the other way. On the floor, starting for Lords, Kadeem Jones dribbling the ball up right now. Desmond Frazier. You have Cliff Snow, Jordan Fabry, Malik Thurman. There's a triple put up and knocking it down. So a couple of threes gets Lords going. That time it was Jordan Fabry. We just heard the PA announcer said it was corrected and it'll be marked as a 2, but our scoreboard still has 3. We'll see what changes there. Here's a 3 put up by Searles, bouncing off the rim a couple of times. No good. Rebound snared down by Snow. There's a triple in the corner. It's Thurman again. Malik Thurman, 2 for 2 from deep. So it appears as though that last triple was counted as a 3. Both of those were 3, so a 9-3 early Lords lead. Here's a quick dump into the post, backing down, using the body. Vojak, second chance opportunity, blocked from behind. What a start from Thurman, offensively and defensively. And that Lords bench is up and hyped up. Checking in here is Alec Ivanovic for the first time, as Vojak will go to the bench. Searles calls out the signals from underneath the hoop. Off the screen, Seidel, they'll lob it out to Ivanovic, and he'll look to get things going here. Inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock. Swings it over, triple try. Ivanovic, all net. He got off to quite the start on Wednesday against Concordia. And It was almost a mirror image of that, knocking down triples, silky smooth Alec Ivanovic. McKenney keep it going. He kind of leveled off in the second half against Concordia. There's a jam, and Thurman is hot early on, elevating and throwing it down there. It's an 11-6 Lourdes lead, and Thurman already has 8 points. Popping out here, it's Davenport. Back out Miles, carving his way across the lane, off the glass and in. Devontae Miles gets that to go, the junior from Tampa, Florida. One of 2 Floridians on this Lawrence Tech roster, along with the senior Lucas Vojak, who's on the bench right now. Frazier drove, kicked out to Snow, no good. Snow plays a lot of minutes for this Lourdes team. Off the mark there, but expect to see him on the floor quite a bit tonight. Pass goes over to Miles, popping out here, Seidel. Far arc Ivanovic, he's already knocked one down. Little turning jumper from Seidel. Tough jumper, kind of had to contort his body in midair, and that certainly affected the release. Looking to stay hot and staying hot. Thurman just smiles as he walks back to the bench, and he is mobbed by his teammates. Thurman on fire, he's already got 11. 11 of the first 14 for Lourdes, and we'll go to break here on the LTU Sports Network as Lourdes leads 14-6. So it's Malik Thurman making his impact felt early on in this one. He has 11 of the first 14 for Lourdes. Last time out against Madonna, he had 15. He's already got 11 tonight. 48% three-point shooter on the year, and really hurting the Blue Devils early on. But there's Ty Searles answering back and cutting the lead down to 4. Dribbling back up the other way, here's Kadeem Jones. He'll settle things down. Almost 5 minutes into the first half here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse on the LTU Sports Network. In low for Thurman, working against the body of Miles, decided to kick back out. Here's Frazier fading long. A battle down low for the board, and LTU comes away with it. Crossing half court, here's Miles looking for Seidel. They'll kick it cross court, working to the far arc. Looking for options. Trying to gradually work his way down low. Miles, no good. The nice defense from Thurman. And now Snow hands it off to his point guard, Desmond Frazier. The junior from McCalla, Florida, will give it back to Kadeem Jones, the guard from Dayton, Ohio. Now here is Frazier launching and knocking it down to extend the lead to 7. LTU won the first matchup with Lourdes by 21 earlier this year. Undoubtedly the biggest win of the year for LTU. That was in Sylvania, Ohio. Inside of 10 on the shot clock here. Steal by Kadeem Jones. He'll gallop back out the other way. Came up short at the rim. Rebound snared down by Ivanovic, and a nice job to get back in transition there from Lawrence Tech. Trailing by 7 here with 14-12 to play here in the first half. They've gone to Miles quite a bit in the high post. This time they find Baker in the corner, no good. Well long from the sophomore guard from Byron Center, Michigan. And back the other way, settling things down. Here's Kadeem Jones on to Cliff Snow. He'll work it to the opposite side. This Lourdes team is 10-16 on the year, 3-14 in the WAC. These are the bottom 2 teams in the WAC, but Lourdes has come out not looking anything like that, just triggering and knocking down shots and playing good defense. LTU trying to answer back here. Trailing by 7 in the corner at Seidel, skipping it around the perimeter. Searles, little pump fake. Decided to go in the corner for Miles. Finally found some space out on the right arc, and it was Derek Seidel, the senior, knocks it down. That's the third triple of the day for LTU. On the other side, Lords already has 5 of those. A nice strip from behind here from Searles. Here he comes out the other way. Little up and under acrobatic move, and he's fouled. Searles will go to the line for 2. 78% on the year from the free throw line. The junior guard from Pontiac, Michigan will have a chance to cut this lead down to 2 with 12:52 remaining here in the first half. First free throw rims out. A few substitutions will hit the floor here. On the Lord's side, you have Mike McCray-White along with Deuce Martin getting in the game here. And second free throw is up and good from Searles. With under 13 to play now, it's a 3-point Lords lead. They got off to a hot start behind Thurman, who's still on the floor right now with 11 points. Popping out Deuce Martin in the corner from McCray-White, seeing him on the floor for the first time, a long athletic specimen. In the corner, it's Thurman looking to stay hot. Finally misses, that rims out. Right there in the right place at the right time, it was Baker. And now crossing half court, Searles. They skip it around the perimeter. Ivanovic, he's knocked down a 3 already. Didn't have enough space there, and it goes back to him up top. Far side, Baker popping out. Here's Seidel, skips. This time Ivanovic was open, tried to follow his own miss. I think he knew as soon as he shot that it was going to be short, but it ended up going off the rim and out of bounds. Possession Lords. Miles will check back in here. Looks like Baker will stay in. A little bit of confusion there. Baker will stay in. Seidel will check out. There's your triple try, rims out. Lords shooting 56% from deep early on, but unable to knock it down there. Back come the Blue Devils. They're at a 5 for 13 mark from the field right now. Searles look to set the offense up. Into the corner it goes. Davenport thought about a drive. Didn't see any room. Ivanovic, nice little jab step move, walks the baseline. That pass was tipped by the long outstretched arm of Deuce Martin, the freshman from Clearview, Ohio. See Thurman check out there after quite the stint. Starting this one out, a deep triple from Searles. No good. And LTU never really got into any type of a set there. Credit Lords on sealing off any open opportunities. In the corner, it's a triple put up, rimmed in and out. That was up from Jordan Fabry, the 6'4" guard, averaging 8.5 per game. Miles spinning, right hand, floater is up and good around the rim. Devontae Miles for 2, and we have a 1-point game. Back the other way, here's Vasquez, the sophomore, averaging 3.2 points per game. He'll give it off here and get it back from McEwen. Here's a cutter along the baseline. They'll defer, go back the other way, losing the handle a bit. Jordan Fabry as he went across the lane, but found an option, and another shot knocked down. That time it's a long 2 from Baker, and with 10:27 to play, now a 3-point Lords lead. Here's Ty Searles. He can get a streaky stretch going at any time. We haven't seen much from him so far. Working in low and spinning and getting hacked on the arm. Going in line for 2, it's Eric Davenport, the chem major from Petoskey, Michigan. Will go to the line shooting 69% on the year from the free throw stripe. Couldn't get the roll go there. One of 3 seniors on the roster for LTU. See Baker check out. The energy and presence of Seidel gets back in the game. Looking to provide a spark for this LTU team. Once again, they're back within 2. Vasquez taking over the point guard duties right now. Popping up, here's McCray. Back to McEwen. Couple of off-ball screens. They looked for McEwen, it wasn't there. Nice job of defending the post there from LTU. McCray against the body of Ivanovic. No room, and he traveled. Nice defense there from Ivanovic, keeping those long arms up and in the face of McCray. McCray is long himself, but Ivanovic was able to deter any kind of an opening there. Excellent job on the defense, and now we see a full court pressure being implemented by Lourdes. Deuce Martin and Vasquez shadow Searles. They try to work it up the floor, they do. Here's Searles trying to accelerate a bit, lost the handle, was able to stay on in the forecourt. Hop step move from Devontae Miles, he finishes, and the foul. Took a bump in midair, finishing under duress, and I'll go to the line with a chance to take the lead here. We see Thurman check back in as the Lourdes offense has kind of stalled a bit over the last few minutes. They're 1 of 7 from the field over the last few minutes or so. And now Devontae Miles at the line, shooting 75% on the year. Off the iron, no good, so we're still tied at 19. Under 10 to play here in the first half. It was Lourdes getting off to a hot start. LTU showing some resiliency here, as they have over these past few games, withstanding the run just like we saw on Wednesday against Concordia. Popping out for a triple try and knocking down a triple try. It's Bryce McComb, the sophomore from Swanton, Ohio. Just a 24% free throw shooter, but it seems like those three-point attempts are contagious right now for Lourdes, and they're just dropping 50% so far through over 10 minutes now through the first half. Devontae Miles trying to answer back. That was well strong. Alec Ivanovic went for the board. It rolled off the back of Vasquez, but he was able to save it. Right in front of head coach Josh Gibson. He leads this Lourdes team along with assistant coach Jake Dupree. Lourdes at 10-16 on the year, 3-8 on the road. This would be a big road win for them. They currently lead by 3 out on the perimeter. 5 seconds on the shot clock. That 3 rimmed out from Vasquez, and now Searles will settle things down, crossing into the forecourt with under 9 to go. Here's Miles, he has 6. Cross-court feed for Seidel, he has 6 as well. Back to Miles, working against the body of Vasquez. Dangerous pass into the corner for Ivanovic, and he hits the 3. Alec Ivanovic, his second triple of the day, and he has 6. Tie game. Here's Vasquez out up top for McEwen. Triple, trying to answer, and the three-point party is apparent here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Total of 10 threes between both teams so far. 6 for Lourdes, 4 for Lawrence Tech. Shots have been falling. It is a 25-22 Lourdes lead. This is a full Lawrence Tech timeout, and we're going to break here on the LTU Sports Network. We welcome you back here on the LTU Sports Network. I'm Jason Ross Jr. here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse on Senior Day, where LTU currently trails by 3. The LTU women were able to pull off a dominant, convincing victory in the first of our doubleheader against the Lourdes women. Led by an excellent performance from Nicole Buckingham. Here's Searles launching, around and out, no good. Rebound pulled down by Snow. Looking to push the pace. Here's Vasquez, fouled. Went right into the big 6'9" body of Vojak and went tumbling down onto the baseline. Under 8 to play here in the first half. It's a 3-point Lourdes lead. They'll look for the inbounds play. LTU defending it well. They lob it out. The long arms of Snow able to corral it. And now they'll look to get another set. Snow gives it off to Thurman, who has been spectacular so far. Out on the perimeter. Driving here, and they lose it out of bounds. Off LTU. It'll stay down here. Can hear the Lourdes fans who traveled very well today screaming out. 10 seconds left on this shot clock. McEwen looks up and notices that shot clock. He takes the triple. He had a lot of space. Off the iron, no good. And now here comes Ty Searles, leading this team with just under 17 points per game. Gives it over to Seidel. Cross-court feed. Here's Searles. Tried to get his defender off balance. He'll cross over. It up and in. Ty Searles, the junior guard, knocks it down, and Searles with 5 points here. She struggled from the field so far, but able to knock it down there and cut the lead to 1. Long 3 attempt the other way. Off the side of the rim, no good. 6:14 to play here in the first half. I believe that went off an LTU body, so it'll stay in possession of Lourdes. The three-pointer has been the story so far. Lourdes shooting it at a 44% clip, LTU at 36%. Not too shabby on either side. This time they work in low, though. Here's Thurman. This time he might get another chance for 3, not by way of the three-point line, but by way of the foul line. Working into a body down low and finishing Thurman has been nothing short of spectacular so far. That's his 15th point of the half, a chance for 16, and a chance to extend this lead to 2 possessions with under 6 to play here in the first half. Free throw is up, off, long rebound goes in favor of Lourdes. It was McEwen in the mix, just in the right place at the right time there. Kind of went over the arm of Baker, and that'll send them right back to the free throw line with once again a chance to extend this lead to 2 possessions. Vic McEwen, the freshman from Flint, Michigan. Kind of a homecoming for him here. Averaging just under 3 points per game. He's 71% at the line this year. Able to knock down both, and now it's a 5-point Lourdes lead. And once again, we see the full court pressure. LTU crosses half court with Seidel. Lobbing it over, back and forth they go. Here's Baker, has to pick up his dribble. Seidel drives, under 10 on the shot clock. Searles, triple try. That's long. And the shooting difficulties continue for Ty Searles. Back out the other way, here comes Lourdes. Searles 2 of 7 on the day now after that miss. He does have 5 points. That shot no good from Vic McEwen. And Searles will have another go at it. They'll get it up ahead to Ivanovic. He's had a couple of threes today, but they go to Seidel. He's long. High hop off the rim. Goes in favor of Snow, and he'll cross half court. Getting signals from head coach Josh Gibson before they go into the set. This is a matchup between a couple of teams looking to end the year on a high note. Certainly some good competition going on here through the first 15 minutes and change. The last 3 losses from Lourdes have come by double digits. They're trying to snap that streak. They currently lead by 5. Here's Searles once again getting inside, 10 seconds on the shot clock, missing another triple, goes back out to Seidel. They'll try again, another missed 3. Was Ivanovic fouled? I think he was. Bond was in there for Lourdes, and he might have been the guilty party. We see Devontae Miles get set to check back in here, along with Frazier for Lourdes. Miles has played a nice game so far, 6 points on 3 of 5 from the field, about 15 minutes on the floor. Oh, Searles tried to go off his back, but did he step out of bounds? I believe he caught it, but he stepped out of bounds, tried to go with a little trickery there, and it ended up working in favor of Lourdes. Both teams on cold stretches here. Lourdes, no buckets in the last 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And for Lawrence Tech, a little over 2 minutes as well without a bucket. 29-24 your score. Approaching the final 4 minutes. Tight one here in Don Riddler Fieldhouse. LTU trying to snap this losing streak. Closing out there on Snow. Nice defense from Ivanovic. Pushing back out the other way, here comes Miles up to Searles. Defended by Frazier, they'll reset here. Again to the high post for Miles. He'll look to work in low to his sweet spot. Goes up, no good. Snow goes tumbling down to the ground. We get a foul called. At the scores table looking to check in, it's Jordan Fabry, the 6'4" guard. Fabry with 5 points on 2 of 4 shooting so far. Crossing half court, here's Bond. Popping out Thurman. Now Fabry, defended by Ivanovic. Triple try Thurman, no good. Hasn't quite had the same rhythm that he started with. Although that spectacular rhythm that he had is certainly tough to match. Once again, LTU given a lifeline, but they give it right back. And here comes Thurman looking to push up to Fabry. Lost the handle slightly. Ended up getting it to Jones. Little 5-foot floater is good. Timeout called. It was called by the Lourdes sideline. They hold a 7-point lead. And we're going to break here on the LTU Sports Network. It's a 7-point Lourdes lead. So LTU 0 for 4 with 3 turnovers over the last 30 minutes, over the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds, sorry. They'll look to change that drought here. Here's Miles, lobs up to Ivanovic to break the half-court pressure, trailing by 7. And Andrew Remington will look to get him into the set. What's worked so far is Devontae Miles in that high post area, but several times they continue to get under the 10-second mark in the shot clock, and they find themselves having to rush the offense, skipping it around the perimeter. Haven't seen much cuts, much baseline movement. Early on, they appeared to be able to pop out three-point shooters. Here's Seidel, right on cue, unable to knock it down, though. And Bond will look to push the other way. Navigating his way through traffic and calling out the play. He'll give it over to Frazier, defended by Miles. Up top it goes Thurman, now near side. With the screen and driving and carving and tied up. It was Frazier. Ball will go in favor of LTU. So a big final 2:14 here, trailing by 7. You could cut it to 4 with the triple try. Or even just, getting it down with a 2-pointer here would also be big. Plenty of time left in this half, 2 minutes to go. Seidel off a screen, they didn't get it to him. They go to Ivanovic. Once again inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock. Emmington finds space, makes his way all the way to the cup, and couldn't finish right at the rack. Under duress, though, from the Lords defense, so still a 7-point game. It's a 6-0 run for Lords over the last 4:16. The field goal drought for LTU is now at 0 for 6 over the last few minutes. That rolls off the rim into the hands of Searles. Still just under 90 seconds to play here in the half. You got to work it down in low. They do. Get it to Miles, and he's fouled from behind. Not in the bonus yet. So it'll still be an inbounds play with a 1:19 to go here in the first half. Curling off a screen side. Oh, they go in low to Miles. That seems to be the good option right now. And there it is, right on cue. Cutting the lead down to 5 and a 2-possession game with 1:08 to play here in the first half. It's Bond weaving. He'll hand it off to Jones. Kick out here, Fabry driving through traffic, tumbling in a blocking foul. Miles was moving there in the paint. With 62 seconds to play. In the bonus, it's Lords. Fabry, the freshman. Plenty of potential at 6'4", 175 pounds. See his ability to get to the rim there with those long strides as Vasquez checks in. Under a minute to play here in this first half. Rattles home the second. Searles walks it up, trying to just get past this pressure. They do. It's a tad bit methodical, but they make it up in time. Clock continues to tick in the dying seconds of this first half. Here's Searles. His team trails by 6. Under 40 seconds to play. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Nice defensive play from Vasquez. Jarred that free, and now Lords has numbers the other way. But a nice play to get back there. It was Emmington in on the defense, coming in out of nowhere. The sophomore from Cadillac, Michigan, comes up with a big play there. And still a chance to get a stop here for LTU as Baker now checks in. Ivanovic goes to the bench. 27 seconds to go. They loft it out here to Frazier. There's about a second difference between shot and game. Kadeem Jones can dribble it up near the half-court line. Essentially the final shot clock here. Kadeem Jones hands it off to Frazier, defended by Searles, popping out his snow, spinning, carving, long strides, off the glass and in. LTU arguing that there should have been some time left there, but head coach Pickens just says, we'll go to the locker room. It's an 18-point deficit, an 8-point deficit at the half. 34-26 is the Lords lead. We'll go to break here on the LTU Sports Network and see you on the other end of the break. Welcoming you back here into the LTU Sports Network on Senior Day here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. LTU trails by 8 to open up this second half. It was Lourdes able to close the first half with a nice bucket, and there's a jam. Rising up and slamming it down hard. It's Malik Thurman, the forward, who has been incredible in this game so far, and he gets off to a nice start there in the second half, extending his team's lead to double digits. In low, looking to answer back. Miles kicks out. Baker knocks down the triple. And it's now a 7-point game. Trying to answer back at the other end and knocking it down. Desmond Frazier. This is pretty much, through these first couple of possessions, pretty much a mirror image of what our first half looks like through approximately the first 10 minutes. It was just trading triple after triple. There's a shot that goes down from the elbow. It's Alec Ivanovic knocking it down there. He has 8 on 3 of 4 shooting. An 8-point game. Approaching about a minute and a half into the second half. LTU was able to make their way back within about 4 to 5 at times in that first half, but never really got over the hump to take the lead or tie. So we'll see if they can get off to an all-important good start here in the second half and keep it close all the way through, or better. Should be an interesting second half as we get a travel call there on Desmond Frazier. And the 4th turnover of the game for Lourdes will give it back to LTU. Lourdes has had, for the most part, a clean game, just the 4th turnover there. Out up top near the half-court line, it's Andrew Emmington, sophomore from Cadillac, Michigan. And they get it in low to Devontae Miles, trying to loft it over top to Vojak. They did. That was all Vojak's height there. I mean, they literally just decided to loft it over the head of Jordan Fabry, and Vojak caught it and put it up and in through contact. Chance to go to the line to cut the lead down to 5. Vojak couldn't hit there. Tip for the rebound. Pulled down, just narrowly staying in bounds. Kadeem Jones will dribble it back out the other way. Leading by 6 now after Vojak gets the bucket to go with a and one opportunity. Couldn't quite knock down the free throw, though. At the other end, snaring down the board, here's Baker. They look out up top. Seidel looking to get shots possibly up quicker in the shot clock here in the second half. We saw very often in that first half, LTU was forced to go very deep into the shot clock, forcing quick triple tries, as there's one on the part of Lourdes trying to knock down. It was Fabry. And now back out here comes Andrew Emmington. Emmington, no points on the board today, just 0 for 1 from the field. About 6 minutes on the floor. Gets it into the high post, now kicks it outside. Stepped into a triple that just rolled off. Miles went crashing down, pushing back out the other way. Here comes Lourdes. They drop it back. Looking behind, Kadeem Jackson put up a floater. Second chance, no good. A little bit of extracurriculars there as this one gets chippy, battling in the paint. It's a tight, competitive affair. Chance to extend the lead to 8 at the line. Here is Thurman. And a chance to extend his point total to 17. Knocks down the first. As a team, Lourdes is 75% from the line today. On the year, Thurman at just about 50%. Able to hit both there, and he does get this lead up to 8. Now the full court pressure. And a turnover forced. Here's Frazier, little pull-up jumper, and he knocks it down. And it's a double-digit lead. LTU unable to get the ball up the floor, and Lourdes capitalizing, and they might capitalize again here. An unfortunate series of events, back-to-back turnovers for LTU. And checking in, Ivanovic, Searles, a couple of guards that should be able to help you break that full court pressure. A couple of disastrous possessions there on back-to-back occasions. Lourdes just barely saving it across the half-court line there. It's Frazier. He'll go between his legs, now give it off to Fabry. They look to get another set, and they'll pull a triple off the front of the rim. In on the rebound, somehow saving it, but throwing it off the glass and out of play. That was Jordan Fabry. And LTU, once again in one of these droughts that we saw towards the end of that first half. No points over the last 2 minutes. See if they can change that here. They work it into the free throw line, extended, driving, up, fouled, count it. Devontae Miles, his second and one opportunity of the day. And a chance to cut the lead down to 7. Miles has 10 now on 5 of 8 shooting. Free throw is up and good. So Miles cuts the lead to 7. And now looking for a defensive stop. The Blue Devils. At the other end, here's a off the ball screen. Able to get Snow free. Off the dribble, around and out. Baker hauls it in, and he'll give it off to the ball handler, Tyree Searles. Looking across half court, Searles has 5, averaging just under 17 a game. Gets it back here, open space, can he hit it? He can. Ty Searles. If they're gonna climb their way back into this one, they'll need more of that. It's a 2-possession game now. And we get a timeout called on the Lourdes sideline. 43-39, your score is still in favor of Lourdes. We'll go to break here on the LTU Sports Network. Welcoming you back here into the LTU Sports Network. Both teams shooting 44%. LTU has climbed their way back into this one over the last couple of possessions, trimming the Lourdes lead to 4. Here's a triple to try to get the lead back up to 7. Comes well short off the hands of Fabry. And Fabry with 6 points on 2 of 6 shooting now. That miss comes up short and gives a bit of a lifeline to Lawrence Tech as they look to advance their way up the floor here. Miles lofts it over the top. Now back to Ivanovic. He'll look to settle things down. Under 15 to play in regulation. Searles hit a big 3 on that last possession. Can he get something going here? Over to side O, the senior side O. Searles inside of 10 on the shot clock. Ivanovic, he's knocked down a couple of those today. Oh, it just rattles home. Alec Ivanovic putting us through a little bit of suspense there. Ultimately, though, his 3 rattles on home, and it's just a 1-point game. This foul will be called on Searles. as Snow was trying to get position. Just a 1-point game now with under 15 to play. After the big three from Alec Ivanovic. Ivanovic now has 11 on the day, 3 of 4 shooting. And Lawrence will look to set up once more with Kadeem Jones. Jones has 2 points on just 1 of 5. Gives it over to Snow. He'll pivot. Back out far side. Dribbling. Here's McEwen into the corner. Jones defended by Searles. 6 seconds on the clock. Little hop step off the iron. No good. Pulled down by Ivanovic. And here they come. The crowd starting to get into this one. In low. Oh, Miles traveled on the hop step. Tried to get that position that's worked for him so well this afternoon. But after that position, we're still at a 1-point game. Still at a 1-point Lords lead here on the LTU Sports Network. 13:33 to go. Stop and pop. No good from Fabry. Here's Searles. We haven't seen LTU push the pace much this afternoon. You wonder if that would help. Seen them mostly in the half-court sets. In the corner, Ivanovic. Oh, although over these last possessions, they are 4 of 4. LTU is. Can they make it 5 of 5? Just around and out. But Seidel on the effort, he stepped out. So it's a 9-0 LTU run over the last about 3 minutes now. Lords looking to end this drought. They've surrendered a double-digit lead. Here's a triple. Off the iron, no good. And now back the other way comes Searles. He'll call out the play. Give it over to Seidel. Seidel didn't like what he saw, so he gives it back to Searles. Baseline drive, Searles up and under, then fall. Snow, the pass was behind a streaking Deuce Martin, who might have been looking to spot up in the deep corner. And that'll be a bit of a give me possession now for Lawrence Tech. Ivanovic looks, gives it to Seidel. LTU can take the lead here. They're still on what is a 9-0 run. Miles, yes, and LTU has the lead. They've come back on what is now an 11-0 run. Lords is 0 for 8, one of their last 12 overall. And LTU has climbed their way back. What has been a valiant performance has ultimately now given them the lead. Miles fell down rather theatrically, but the shot was off, and LTU comes back the other way, crossing half court. Into the corner it goes. Here's Seidel. Goes back out up top for Ivanovic. Far corner, Baker, yes! Score is 47-43 right now. Scoreboard was off for a moment there, but meanwhile driving in the lane, it's Deuce Martin as his team all of a sudden trails by 2 possessions. Foul was charged to Travis Baker. This scoring drought is up to 5 minutes and 43 seconds, approaching 6 minutes, and it finally ends there for Lords. It was a 1 of 13 stretch. At one point, 0 of 9 that let LTU back into this one and ultimately let LTU take a 4-point lead that's now trimmed down to 3. Chance to cut that lead down to 2 here. Deuce Martin, 76% free throw shooter on the year. Couple of dribbles, high arcing, nice rotation, but off the iron, no good. And here's Emmington dribbling back out the other way, gives it off to Searles. Kind of a co-point guard lineup on the floor right now. Searles and Emmington. Into the corner it goes, now in deep for Seido. They get it right back out. And Searles from long distance. Searles beginning to heat up here. And he's given his team a 6-point lead. It's the largest lead of the day for LTU. As we reach the halfway point, LTU looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. They hold a 6-point lead now. Into the corner, back out, driving. No good there from Thurman. Back the other way, LTU charging is Searles. He'll slow it up into the corner. Now post, flashing quickly, liking what he sees. It's Miles, went to the deck. Josh Pickens wanted a foul. Meanwhile, here comes Deuce Martin with numbers, a triple, no good. Rebound with the long arms of Ivanovic. He'll push back out, crossing half court as the pace begins to pick up a little bit here in the second half. Although Searles will slow it down. Under 10 to play. And we get a timeout called. So LTU goes on a run with excellent defense and excellent offense. And they hold a 6-point lead. We're going to break here on the LTU Sports Network. And we return here on the LTU Sports Network. It's a 6-point Lawrence Tech lead at home here on Senior Day, looking for a big win. Emmington lofts it in low. 4 on the shot clock, up and in, off the glass from Miles. He limps back out the other way. It's now an 8-point lead, extending what is the largest lead of the day for the Blue Devils. They charged back after trailing by double digits in the first half. Spinning in the post, it's McCray cutting the lead back down to 6. The freshman from Cleveland for Lords now has his first bucket of the day, and back the other way come the Blue Devils. Here's Searles, triggers with a hand in his face and knocks it down with a hand in his face. Ty Searles, his 3rd triple of the day. And Lawrence Tech is shooting it at a 41% clip from deep, and they now hold a 9-point lead. 9 for 22 total from behind the arc. Nice show and go there from Deuce Martin, but he threw it away. Here comes Searles. Yes! And it's now a double-digit lead for Lawrence Tech. They continue this run. It's a 24-3 run over the last 7 minutes and 40 seconds. LTU has made 4 of their last 4, and they forced Lords to now 1 of 12 over this stretch of the last about 4 minutes. Second chance opportunity though here, and they'll go back in the post for White. Air ball, I think it might have been tipped. Under 10 to play, LTU in prime position. Reinforcements getting set to come in at the scorer's table. Screen and roll here, it wasn't there. Back to Searles, he's hot. Heat check, yes! Tyrese Searles. He's got 19. He's become a flamethrower in the second half. And a timeout called by Lords. It's a 14-point LTU lead here on the LTU Sports Network. Welcoming you back here into the LTU Sports Network. It's an 8-0 LTU run. Brilliant play over the last 10 minutes or so, really throughout this whole second half. So we get a quick whistle here. Waiting on the call. It appears to be a foul off the ball. Davenport still in discussion with the referee, and now we'll get an inbound. From the near sideline, it's Bryce McComb getting an inbound to Kadeem Jones. And it's crunch time right now for Lourdes. They're looking to snap a 6-game losing streak as well. We knew coming into the day that someone was going to snap a 6-game losing streak. And right now, Lawrence Tech in a favorable position, holding a 14-point lead, holding all momentum right now here in this matchup. Lofting a high pass though there and turning it over. Tried to go over the top of the pressure. So with under 7 to play, it's Lourdes in need of big buckets. Around the perimeter, far side it goes. Bryce McComb driving out for Snow, top of the key. Kadeem Jones, the freshman from Marshall High School, crossing over into the lane, fouled and one. That's a big bucket. You needed that if you're Lourdes, just for a boost of confidence right about now. Foul was charged on Ivanovic. Lourdes just has not been able to stop Lawrence Tech on the defensive side of the basketball really throughout this whole second half, aside from that last turnover. Now the pressure did work for Lourdes at one point in this game, forcing back-to-back turnovers for Lawrence Tech, really sloppy back-to-back turnovers. It's been all Lawrence Tech for the most part over the last 10 minutes. Here's another three from Searles. He's a streaky guy, and he has been hot over the last few minutes. I'm unable to knock it down there, and we get a foul called on Davenport.
Lawrence Tech foul number 10, Travis Baker, his second, team foul.
The bench points have also favored Lawrence Tech in this one, 17-11 in that category. Driving and finding open space there is Bryce McComb, his 5th point of the day. So now that'll cut it down to single digits. This lead was 14. The big and one bucket. And now a layup from Bryce McComb, spinning into the paint, doing a pirouette. It was Alec Ivanovic, no good. Back the other way, here's Lourdes. A nice little bounce pass, going up and finishing there. And now in a bit of a run, it was Jordan Fabry. Now a 7-point game. It's a 7-0 run for Lourdes, and that'll initiate a timeout called by Josh Pickens. We'll go to the break here on LTU Sports Network. It is just a 7-point LTU lead now. Your score is 60-53 with 5:10 remaining here in the final half of regulation. We return here on the LTU Sports Network. Under 6 to play, 5:10 remaining to be exact, and it is a 7-0. LTU has now missed 5 of their last 7 field goal attempts. This momentum-driven game continues to flop back and forth. But for the most part, it was all LTU through about the first 12 minutes. There's a 3 that's long, off the iron and in the hands of McComb. He'll go to Thurman, back to McComb, and settling things down, it's Kadeem Jones, a 6'2" guard from Marshall High School. Searles guarding McComb here. Lourdes has done a nice job of finding their way into the paint. A couple of open looks have led to and-one opportunities, and once again there. That time it was a tough finish, though, spiraling into the lane from Kadeem Jones through contact and cuts the lead down to 5, and the run is now a 9-0 run. Credit Lourdes. They did not go away when this lead got up to 14. And when I say that they did not go away, they did not go away mentally in this one. There's a block, falls into the hands of Ivanovic, and Ivanovic will go to the line trying to get this lead back up to 7 and cut what is a cold drought right now for the Blue Devils. To be exact, it's a scoring drought of 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes. First free throw is up from the freshman, and it's good. Ivanovic shooting 75% on the year from the line. Second is up, and it drops down just like the first to get the lead back up to 7. A couple of big free throws as we approach the 4-minute mark here. Lourdes fought their way back after going down 14. It looks like LTU had control of this one. 3 around and out into the hands of Jones. 5, about an 8-footer is good. That'll get it back down to 5. 3:38 to go. Searles has had a very nice second half. He's got 19. Now it's in the hands of Seidel. Into the post, Miles, he has 15. Baker cut, it goes to Searles though. Might have had room, decided to kick out for a triple try from Seidel, and Derek Seidel knocks it down to the delight of this Lawrence Tech crowd here on Senior Day with 3:10 remaining here in the final home game of regulation for LTU, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. In the post it goes for Thurman, up no good. Who would this one go off of? It will go in favor of LTU. On the other side, Lourdes also trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. These two teams at the bottom of the end the season on a high note, and you can do that with a big win here. LTU, first they have to get past this full court pressure. Went off a hand there. Went off the hand once more of Kadeem Jones. Nice closeouts here from Lourdes. And that has forced the shot clock already inside of 10 seconds. Really nice defensive possession from Lourdes there. Snaring down the rebound is Thurman. Pushing back up, here's McComb. Into the corner, Snow, looking for a big triple. Nice contest there from Seidel to force that one well short. Trapped in the corner though. They get it out to Miles. Crossing through, splitting the defense into the corner for Baker. A streaking Ivanovic. He'll look back for Searles. Searles will hold it and set things up. Out near half court. We approach the 2-minute mark. It's an 8-point LTU lead. Once again inside 10 seconds. Driving down the left side of the lane and finishing. There's Ty Searles. He's got 21 now. On 8 of 18, shooting 4 of 12 from deep. He's had an excellent second half, and the lead is back up to double digits for LTU. Working in the post, he might have traveled, he did. Thurman took way too many steps there. And these LTU fans can just feel how close they are to snapping this 6-game losing streak. They get it in here to Seidel. A turnover and the full court pressure wreaking havoc once more. That's the third bad turnover enforced by that full court pressure, and it leads to a three-pointer in transition to cut this lead down to 7. This game's certainly not over yet. In the backcourt, they need a timeout, and they take one. We'll go to break here on the LTU Sports Network. It's a 7-point LTU lead with 1:24 remaining here in regulation at Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Welcoming you back here into the LTU Sports Network. Crunch time, 80 seconds remaining. It's a 7-point LTU lead. Tight pressure here from Kadeem Jones, and he forced a steal. And Searles fouls as McComb was looking to get it out in transition up to Kadeem Jones, but not before Searles foul. It was a smart foul that will force Lourdes to inbound it behind the half-court line in the backcourt. Crossing half-court here is Jones, off to Snow. Lourdes with their best offensive players out on the floor right now. There's a deep triple, knocked down. Snow certainly falls in that category as he cuts the lead down to 4. LTU trying to break this half-court pressure. Ivanovic goes behind the back and he's fouled. That was just Snow's second bucket of the day, and it's a big one. It got the lead down to 4 with 52 seconds remaining here in the second half. Both teams in search of a big win, trying to snap lengthy losing streaks. Although when you think about the situation for Lawrence Tech, knowing that this is senior day, it's just that much bigger, that much more important that you come out with a win here. It certainly won't be easy, even though you hold a 4-point lead. Tight pressure here, and a foul off the ball. It's pretty evident now that Lourdes is intentionally fouling. Head coach Josh Pickens calling out the orders. Referees converse. Seidel will inbound. Defended by McComb at 6'1". He'll try to stick his arms up and disrupt the vision of Seidel here. You'll most likely see Searles and Miles break out on some type of an inbounds play. Referees are still conversing over near the scores table. Getting it inbounds against this pressure is no guarantee. Seidel looks, he gets it in. A reach from behind by Jones. He was able to make that steal last time, couldn't there, and Searles is fouled once more. LTU now in the bonus. Searles will go to the line looking to hit the front end of a 1-and-1. 78% from the free throw line on the year, and he knocks that down to extend the lead up to 5. Still a 2-possession game for Lourdes, where you could go back the other way, potentially hit a 2 or 3. Searles rims out on the second free throw. 5-point game still. Up the far side of the floor, here comes Jones. Thurman's been hot all game. You have multiple guys who can hit from deep. There's a long triple. Wow, Bryce McComb cuts this lead to 2. He was a good 6 feet behind the three-point line and knocked it down. A Stephen Curry-esque 3 from Bryce McComb. And why not? These two teams have been trading sensational buckets from long distance all game long, and McComb continues the trend there with a remarkable shot. We have ourselves a ball game with 31.1 to play here in regulation on Senior Day inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Josh Pickens talking things over with his team. And on the other side, on the Lourdes sideline, head coach Josh Gibson, certainly in the ears of his players. So the sensational bucket from McComb will now lead to another chance to force a steal here. Once again, this is no guarantee that you're able to get the ball up the floor. Searles is trapped immediately and fouled immediately with 29.2. There's about a 0.2, about 0.2 of a second difference between shot and game here, so you did need a foul there. Searles missed the second of the 1-and-1 last time he was at the line. Once again, Searles 78% from the free throw line this year. Pressure-packed moment, pressure-packed free throws. Off. Baker going for the board. We're going back the other way. LTU held a 14-point lead earlier in this half. Now with less than 30 seconds remaining, Lourdes has a chance to tie. They loft it over the arms of Searles. Here's Jones in the corner, Snow. Shot clock is off. We get a timeout called. With 15.3 remaining, Lourdes down 2, and Josh Gibson will talk things over once more. We'll go to break here on the LTU Sports Network. We'll be right back here. It's a thriller inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. We welcome you back here into the LTU Sports Network. 15.3 seconds remaining. It's a 2-point LTU lead. Lourdes has hit 5 of their last 5 field goal attempts. LTU led by 14 earlier in the half. Here's Kadeem Jones. Multiple guys on the floor capable of hitting a shot. A miscommunication and a steal. There was a miscommunication. Jordan Fabry thought he was going to have someone popping up, and that intended receiver instead cut to the rim. And now back the other way, a chance to extend this lead to 2 possessions. It's Derek Seido, a 68% free throw shooter on the year. 1-and-1, he knocks down the front end. 8.5 remaining. 8.5 seconds remaining, and a timeout called here It's a full timeout called by Josh Pickens. And we'll go to break here on the LTU Sports Network. Pressure-packed remaining seconds. Don't go anywhere. We've got a fun one for you. We return here on the LTU Sports Network. It's Derek Seidel, the senior guard, here on Senior Day. He was honored before the game started. That free throw rims out. And stoppage in play here. What do we have? A timeout called. I believe it was by the Lawrence Tech bench with 7 seconds remaining. The ball will go in possession of Lourdes, and they'll have a chance to tie with the triple. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This one is coming down to the final seconds here on Senior Day. We return here on the LTU Sports Network. Lourdes will have to go the full length of the court. They'll have plenty of time to do it. 7 seconds. LTU applying full court pressure here. Ivanovic is on the baseline with his arms up at 6'4". He'll be defending Bryce McComb, who will inbound this, the sophomore guard from Swanton, Ohio. You have plenty of guys on the floor who are capable of hitting a three, and you need a three to tie it. Clock is running. There's a foul, and LTU decides to go with the strategical take on this situation. They'll foul and force Lourdes to, obviously, you can't take 3 free throws, so, you know, if you make one here and possibly miss the second, that could be an interesting situation with 6.2 left. Lawrence Tech hasn't been all that reliable at the line down the stretch here, so you could knock down both, as we see Kadeem Jones knock down the first. Jones, a 77% free throw shooter. He's got 10 points on the day. We'll see what he decides to go with here. 6.2 on the clock. These LTU fans are making some noise. Oh, it rimmed off. Rebound! It was high! And Derek Seidel comes down with the board. Wow! They missed the free throw, had a wide open, clear lay-in attempt. Strong off the glass. Jones might have thought that he had less time than he did. And Seidel has a chance to wrap this one up on Senior Day. Knocks down the first, a 3-point game. He's in the same position he was in just moments ago when he couldn't knock down the second. And we went back the other way with Lourdes having a chance to tie. Here we go. It's short. Tip. 1.2 left on the clock. A foul called on Lawrence Tech. So this will lead to the 1-1 once more here. It's Malik, free throw shooter. He's had himself a day with 17 points. A spectacular performance from deep, but his team trails by 3 here. What do? They miss it on purpose. Coming down with the ball. LTU. Wait, just wait a minute here. Referees come together. The horn sounded. Shot missed. Josh Pickens calls his team over. Almost every fan in this building has an incredulous look on their face right now. It appears as though they're bringing the players back on the floor with just 0.5 seconds on the clock. If you're a basketball fan, you think back to Derek Fisher hitting that shot against the Spurs with 0.4 seconds remaining. Now that was a game winner. You'd need a miraculous shot to tie here. They put 0.5 on the clock. Looking to get a shot off. You have to touch it up. It's up. Oh, off the iron from Snow. And LTU wins 70-67. The Blue Devils snap a 6-game losing streak on Senior Day. And in thrilling fashion. What a game here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Josh Pickens' team survives the late run from Lourdes. The losing streak for Lourdes is up to 7 now. A happy day here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Both the men and women grab big victories over Lourdes. It was a fun time bringing it to you on the LTU Sports Network. The final home game of the regular season here inside of Don Riddler Fieldhouse. Signing off, I'm Jason Ross Jr., hoping you have a fabulous afternoon.